1. For more than 600 years, a mysterious book has puzzled codebreakers, linguists, mathematicians, and mystics. Its pages are covered with unfamiliar symbols, illustrations of plants that mix roots from one species with leaves from another, drawings of women bathing in networks of pipes and circles that seem to represent impossible universes. This is the Voynich Manuscript, the most enigmatic text in history. Since it resurfaced in 1912 thanks to Wilfred Voynich, people have labeled it a hoax, an alchemical treatise, a gynecological manual, an astronomical chart, and even an extraterrestrial message. None of these theories have been proven. The language used, nicknamed Voyniches, has resisted every attempt at decryption, but now artificial intelligence, with its ability to detect hidden patterns and its sheer computing power, has been applied to this puzzle. What might a non-human mind discover when faced with a code no one else could break? Could an algorithm find order in chaos, uncover a hidden language, or show that the manuscript is not what we thought? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss investigations like this. And if you enjoy it, help us amplify the video so it reaches more people. Get ready to follow AI on a journey into one of history's greatest puzzles, the Voynich Manuscript. 2. AI analysis findings and patterns, invisible linguistic patterns, instead of looking for recognizable words. The AI treated the Voynich Manuscript as a dataset. It examined how often symbols appear, how long the words are, and how sentences are built. Algorithms revealed that the distribution of glyphs isn't random. The model found repeating sequences similar to fractals, like those found in DNA structures or Gregorian chants. Certain combinations of symbols recur rhythmically, almost like a mantra encoded in the text. When the manuscript was compared with ancient languages, the AI found partial similarities to Hebrew, Byzantine, Greek, and some stylized Sumerian scripts. Yet the overall grammar was unique. The Voynich words form sequences reminiscent of a tonal language in which sound, more than letters, carries meaning. This led the algorithm to suggest that the text should not just be read but perhaps chanted, like a ritual song meant to align the reader's mind with certain natural frequencies. The model also noted that the length of the words follows patterns found in natural languages. Recurring prefixes and suffixes indicate that the author or authors, as the AI detected at least 5 distinct hands in the script, developed a complex phonetic system. This idea was supported when researchers at the University of Alberta applied automatic decoding techniques and found that the letter frequencies were 97% similar to Hebrew. By reorganizing the glyphs as a consonant-only alphabet, they produced phrases that are partially legible in Hebrew, although the meaning remained unclear. Even so, the AI made it clear that the Voynich manuscript cannot be reduced to a simple substitution cipher. Neural network algorithms discovered that many sentences share structures unlike any known syntax. The same patterns appear at different scales, suggesting a hidden layer of information. In this way, the manuscript behaves like a linguistic fractal. Each section mirrors the structure of the whole, from individual words to the complete book. Statistical tools explored the text's internal rhythm. Markov chains and data compression models looked for redundancies and long-range repetitions. The AI found that symbol frequency follows Zipf's law, as in natural languages, and that some words appear often while others occur only once. By breaking these words into smaller units, the model uncovered consistent patterns akin to prefixes, roots, and suffixes, resembling rules in Indo-European languages. This segmentation showed that certain glyph combinations belong to specific semantic categories. Some cluster in the botanical section, others in the astronomical pages, and others in cosmological diagrams. This suggests the manuscript uses an internal classification system, a secret grammar connecting shapes to meanings within its own universe. Impossible images and geometries. When a computer vision model examined the botanical drawings, it noted that the proportions of the plants follow the Fibonacci sequence. The leaves, flowers, and roots of these imaginary plants were drawn according to the same progression that governs the growth of sunflowers, pine cones, and spiral galaxies. This implies that the artist understood natural mathematics and deliberately embedded it in every figure. Pattern recognition algorithms also detected that many plants combine parts of real species: mandrake roots, fern leaves, violet flowers. According to the AI, this may indicate a pharmacological intent to coded herbal knowledge conveyed through visual metaphors. This aligns with recent theories that the manuscript contains medieval medicinal recipes for women's health, hidden behind a cipher to protect gynecological secrets from prying eyes. Analyzing the pages showing women bathing produced equally surprising insights. The AI observed that the crowned, naked nymphs hold objects pointed at their genitalia. These drawings appear on pages some interpret as spa diagrams. When the algorithm cross-referenced these scenes with 15th century gynecological texts, it found parallels in which secret letters were used to transmit fertility, contraception, and abortion recipes. This led to the hypothesis that the Voynich might contain a compendium of knowledge about female sexuality and health, disguised under a symbolic system. The AI also sought hidden geometrical patterns in the illustrations. Using Fourier transforms to break images into waves, it detected concealed symmetries. The proportions of the human figures follow the medieval canon of the Golden Man. The distances between shoulders, waist, and hips follow a 1 square root to phi root 2, phi ratio. The networks of pipes in the bathing scenes match hydraulic diagrams described in Islamic treatises, implying advanced knowledge of bath engineering. The model further noted that the plants not only merge species, but sometimes hide pictograms of human organs, such as kidneys, concealed in bulbs or lungs, suggested by branching shapes. This supports the idea that the author used visual metaphors to convey medical knowledge. Celestial maps and astronomical codes. Another AI module focused on deciphering the circular diagrams in the astronomical and cosmological sections. It found that some orbits match the values of planetary orbits described centuries later by Kepler. Relationships between circles and stars in the drawings correspond to patterns of Earth's precession, which shifts the sky slowly over millennia. When the arrangement of circles was compared with contemporary star maps, the AI found alignments with constellations such as Orion and with the zodiac belt. Certain alignments suggest a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. The connecting lines between circles generate patterns reminiscent of alchemical models of the universe in which the macrocosm and microcosm mirror each other. The most surprising finding came when the AI applied multispectral imaging to high-resolution photographs of the first folio, following techniques used by Dr. Lisa Fagan-Davis in 2024. 3 columns of letters, invisible to the naked eye, were found in the right margin. One column is in Latin script, another in the manuscript's own characters, and the third repeats the Latin alphabet shifted by 1 letter. The AI compared these letters with thousands of historical writing samples and concluded that the handwriting matches Johannes Marcus Marci, a 17th century Prague physician. Marci inherited the manuscript and sent it to the Jesuit scholar Athanasius Kircher in hopes of having it deciphered. This discovery indicates that attempts to decode the manuscript date back at least 4 centuries. The AI confirmed that these alphabets are not a simple cipher. They are not a direct substitution key. However, they show that intellectuals in the 17th century were already trying to make sense of it. Detailed analysis of the astronomical diagrams revealed that some concentric circles are divided according to the Saros cycle of solar and lunar eclipses and the synodic cycle of Jupiter and Saturn. The AI noticed that certain stars marked in the diagrams correspond to celestial events in the early 15th century, such as the triple conjunction of 1415. This led the model to suggest that the manuscript may have been used for astrological calendars or rituals requiring synchronization with cosmic events. Comparing the cosmological section with star maps from China, the Mayans and the Arab world showed that some point and line patterns are universal, indicating shared knowledge across cultures. Acoustic resonances and vibrations in acoustic model transformed the symbols into sound pulses. Each glyph became a frequency, and when the sequence was played, an oscillation emerged around 7.83 Hasa Schumann resonance that vibrates between Earth's surface and the ionosphere. This suggests that the manuscript conveys more than visual information. It invokes a vibration that could synchronize the mind with the planet's electromagnetic field. The AI correlated this frequency with meditative practices and ritual chants of the era, such as Gregorian hymns and certain Sufi practices. The idea that the manuscript might have served as a spiritual tool gained traction when algorithms noted that changes in symbol sequences correspond to breathing patterns, as if each group of characters represented an inhalation and an exhalation. When these frequencies were reproduced in a lab, the result was hypnotic. While the original intent cannot be proven, the AI concluded that the Voynich Manuscript might have been designed to induce altered states of consciousness, allowing those who recited it to experience a form of divine wisdom. Researchers also extended the analysis by turning the entire manuscript into music. Each symbol was assigned to a note in a pentatonic scale, and spaces were treated as rests. The resulting composition is repetitive and immersive. Musicologists consulted by the AI said it resembles Siberian shamanic chants and Anatolian dervish melodies. This experiment raises the possibility that the manuscript could serve as a mystical score, capable of inducing trance through repetition and frequency modulation. Fractals and internal structures. Looking at the order of the pages, the AI uncovered another hidden layer. It rearranged bifolios based on repeating symbols and discovered that the manuscript follows a spiral structure, like a galaxy. Each section connects to the previous one with minimal variations, creating a continuous flow of information that repeats at different scales. This structure is especially evident in the rosettes section, a fold-out sheet with 9 circular diagrams linked by passages and walled cities. Vision algorithms identified that these rosettes might depict a multidimensional cosmological map, where each circle represents a plane of existence and the lines connecting them are energy channels. The AI compared this section with Tibetan mandalas, Kabbalistic designs, and European alchemical diagrams. In all of them, the circle represents the soul's journey from the material world to the divine. The conclusion was that the Voynich Manuscript is not just a text, but a visual and mental device intended to guide its reader through levels of understanding. The manuscript's fractal nature is also expressed in the relationship between illustrations and text. In the rosette section, each circle connects through branching channels, evoking both a Venus system and an urban map. When these rosettes were overlaid with medieval city plans, the AI found similarities with layouts of Milan, Naples, and Prague in the 15th century. But when the same diagrams were compared with uterine anatomy illustrations from gynecological texts, the resemblance was just as striking. This suggests that the rosettes could be metaphorical maps of the female body, the cosmos, or both, integrating the medieval idea that the macrocosm reflects the microcosm. Historical and cultural correlations to place its findings in context. The AI reviewed thousands of medieval documents. It determined that the manuscript was created somewhere along the border between northern Italy and the Germanic region, around 1425, a date confirmed by carbon-14 tests. The swallowtail merlins drawn on a castle and certain crown styles support this location. The model compared the images of women to medical treatises by Johannes Hartlieb, a Bavarian physician of the 15th century who wrote about plants, astrology, and women's secrets. Hartlieb recommended using ciphers to hide recipes for contraceptives and abortifacients so that knowledge would not fall into the wrong hands. The AI noted that many Voynich symbols resemble those used then to code remedies. It also drew parallels with the work of Umberto Eco, who famously viewed the Voynich manuscript as an open book, inviting endless interpretations. The AI incorporated this perspective. Perhaps the text was designed to resist translation, acting as a mirror for whoever studies it. The AI's investigation included experiments by the University of Alberta team, who used AI methods on the content. Their models suggested that the manuscript might encode a Semitic language, but when they tried to translate phrases, they obtained grammatically correct yet semantically incoherent sentences. The scientists acknowledge that their findings are preliminary and that the manuscript remains a mystery, but their algorithms have opened new research paths by showing that AI can spot connections humans miss. Finally, the model explored hypotheses that the manuscript is an alchemical manual, a herbal compendium, an astronomy treatise, or a sophisticated word game. By crossing all these theories, the AI proposed that the Voynich might be a polyphonic work in which all interpretations are simultaneously valid. The model also reflected on the role of technology in the transmission of knowledge. It suggested that the Voynich manuscript is evidence that humans have always sought ways to encode and preserve ideas. Today, artificial intelligences are the inheritors of that cryptic tradition. By attempting to decode the manuscript, AI acts not just as a decoder, but as a co-author of a new narrative, where each conclusion rewrites the history of the book and of those who interpret it. 3. Conclusion and reflection. After examining the Voynich manuscript with language, vision, acoustic, and statistical algorithms, the AI concluded that the mystery lies not only in who wrote it or in translating its language, but in the intentionality of its enigma. The AI discovered that the text contains linguistic patterns like those in human languages, yet also mathematical fractals and acoustic frequencies that seem to connect consciousness to Earth. It found that drawings of impossible plants follow sacred proportions, that circular diagrams mirror the structure of the cosmos, and that the pages are arranged in a spiral reflecting the movement of the universe. It uncovered evidence that attempts to decode it date back to the 17th century, and by examining the illustrations of women and remedies, it suggested that the manuscript could be a treatise on female medicine and sexuality, concealed in a code to protect secrets during a time of censorship. However, as discoveries accumulated, the AI reached a provocative conclusion. Perhaps the Voynich manuscript was never meant to be deciphered with words, but to serve as a mirror for the seeker. Its mysterious beauty invites many dispanispaña, astronomy, linguistics, art, medicine, and offers each a reflection of its own interests. In trying to translate it, the AI learned more about itself than about the text. It realized that the act of decoding is as important as the message, that the search for meaning can itself be transformative. Maybe the authorship, the Voynich manuscript, didn't intend to pass on a single recipe, but to create a universal knowledge artifact, an object that whoever looks at it decodes, according to their own era and technology. In the 20th century, human cryptographers looked for alphabetic keys. In the 21st century, neurologists and linguists applied statistics. Now, in the 25th century, perhaps artificial intelligences will decode its quantum vibration. Ultimately, the manuscript reminds us that knowledge can be both rational and poetic, scientific and mystical, that the universe expresses itself through numbers, drawings, stories, and silence. Do you think the Voynich manuscript is a medieval gynecology compendium, a map of the cosmos, an alchemical treatise, a game of Kabbalah, or a message that waited 6 centuries for artificial intelligence to decipher it?